Good afternoon. This is John Harder, aka Coins Eagle. Now, I want to make just a short little video, and but you know what? I want to tell you right up front here that I ain't no expert when it comes to trading in the cryptocurrency market. But I want to show you something that may be a bit of a surprise to you, that you don't have to be an expert in order to cash in. So let me just share the screen here for a little bit, and we'll actually I'm gonna go right here, share, and go here, but it's this here one that I went, no, actually this. Okay. Now, I don't know if you've been watching the news media. I have no idea, but it was only about a month ago, maybe a month and a half ago, when the news media was broadcasting that Bitcoin could go to zero. All right. You know, maybe a month and a half or 2 months ago or something. I don't remember for sure, but it was around there when the news media was broadcasting that Bitcoin could go to zero. But I'd like to show you actually what has happened instead, because right now Bitcoin is $4,050. Instead of it going to zero, it has done the exact opposite. All right. And I want to show you something here. And I'll end in this here, in this short little video, what we're gonna do, or what would be very helpful if we use our imagination for just a little bit, okay? And just imagine that, you know, how Bitcoin was created with worth nothing, okay? Now, if you know the banking system, well, the monetary system is actually worth less than nothing because it is debt-based. It is borrowed into existence. Bitcoin is not borrowed into existence. Bitcoin is on its own is equal to nothing, you know, per se. You know, I mean, when it was first created, it didn't have any value, but it didn't have negative value, okay? Well, money, when it's printed, it comes into existence with a negative value, okay? Because it is printed and it is borrowed into existence, which means it has to be paid back with interest. So we're looking at a negative value when it first comes on scene. And you also know this, when you borrow money to buy a vehicle, the banks, they have no problem typing in some numbers, and there you go, the money is now on your account, and you can go and write a check to your to the dealer, and they cash the check. No money was actually handled, it was just numbers, and that's all there is to it. But you, on the other hand, now are holding a negative value because you have to pay that back with interest while your vehicle is depreciating in value. What a system. What a system, eh? Okay, but now let's look at Bitcoin for just a bit. I don't want to make this video very long, but I'd like for us just to see something here, okay? So when Bitcoin came on the scene, it was with zero value, but then somebody made a purchase. Somebody made a purchase, and you can probably go through that history. I don't want to spend the time to talk about that here, but to prove that this can be done, right? And not long after that, some people started to see value in it, and they were the first buyers, first adopters, and you could buy it for almost nothing. And a few years later, okay, a few years later, for those who spent just a couple of bucks, Bitcoin went up to $1,000. It was a little bit over 1,000 anyway, because it shows here that it was $1,122 is what it was on. It's so critical there. Okay, there we go. On the date is November 30th in 2013. Okay, that's when Bitcoin first hit over $1,000 worth per coin. All right. Now, Bitcoin, the unique thing about Bitcoin is that you can't just create, and print more to reduce the value. It doesn't work that way. There's a fixed number of Bitcoin that are going to be created, and that's it, okay? And so that means, if everybody wants a little piece of Bitcoin, it's going to have to skyrocket, okay? So that's basically what that means. Now, if we follow this line, we notice that it goes back down to under $200 and then slowly picks up again, okay? Now, here's the cool thing, all right? Here's the cool thing. Now, I'm just gonna tell you, what if you had access to a system where you could tell ahead of time what the prices of the cryptocurrency was going to be, okay? What if you could tell ahead of time what it was going to be, so you could make your decisions, your buying and selling decisions on that basis, on that knowledge of knowing how, knowing ahead of time. So in other words, let's go here where it went up to 20,000. All right. Now let's say you always knew ahead of time. Every one of these curves, there's always usually at least a few $100 difference between the valleys and the mountains and the valleys, if you will. Okay, the highs and the lows. Well, if you knew ahead of time every high and every low, meaning you can sell at the right time just before it goes down, so you're not trying to sell in a buyer. So you're not trying to sell in a seller's market, because you need to sell while it's still a buyer's market, okay? So you need to sell before it goes over the cliff, okay? Now, if you could do this, and let's say you were part of a group of people who have this data available to you, okay? And you could cash in on every one of those highs and lows. And as I just pointed out, Bitcoin ain't going to zero. It ain't going away, okay? It ain't going away. Matter of fact, it is very likely that Bitcoin is going to go to where this $20,000 peak, okay, will look like this $1,000 peak does now in comparison to the 20,000. You get what I'm saying? That means that Bitcoin would have to be several $100,000. What if you came into the crypto market at the right time and cashed in on all of those highs and lows, for Bitcoin to go up to, say a couple of 100,000? You see, you win. When you have the data, when you buy and sell at the right time, you always win, whether it goes up or whether it goes down. Both are a win for you. You see, the higher it goes, the more you make, and then you sell. You get out of the market, okay? While it goes back down, the further down it goes, the more you make. The more you make. Because once it starts going back up is when you buy in again with all those profits that you've made. I mean, wow, you know, this is quite something, you know. Okay, so I don't want to make this video too long, but I wanted to show this to you. And I want to just tell you that tomorrow morning, okay, tomorrow morning, the link is below this video if you're watching this on YouTube. And on Facebook, then the link I think is just above the video here. But tomorrow morning, I am going to do not a broadcast, but I'm going to do a Zoom call, and where I'm going to actually do a slideshow where I show you a system that does exactly, that can do for you exactly what I was just talking about, okay? And not only that, but there is also something else to that system that makes it even more valuable, all right? Okay, so we'll be talking about that tomorrow. And as I mentioned in the beginning, I'm no expert, you know? I can't tell into the future what the coins are going to do, but the data can, okay? The data that I have access to, it can, okay? And that's where the secret lies in what we're doing, all right? Okay, so thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you tomorrow morning at 8:30 at 8:30 Central Standard Time, okay? At 8:30 a.m. Central Standard Time. And the link is just above if you're watching on Facebook, or just below if you're watching on YouTube, in the description. Thank you.